I spent like this whole week just working on magic cards and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I made a deck that let me win in like turn 4.
Nice. You got to
Yeah,
test it out already?
yeah. I tested it out, ran 2 games with it, and both games were just over. It was devastating to most people, so I put it away and tried other decks. Because it's like I want people to play, you know?
Yeah.
The first one was me just trying it out. The second one was a request for me to play it,
Or
right?
like that looks challenging or that or
Yeah.
okay.
So I did something different. Like I've not seen anybody build the deck this way, right?
Okay.
This deck is built with all the D&D stuff in mind.
Uh-huh.
So like they came out with 2 sets with D&D,
Yeah.
Adventures in the Forgotten Realms, and then Battle for Baldur's Gate. Adventures in Forgotten Realms brought in Tiamat, the dragon god,
Yeah. Yeah.
the mother of dragons. So I've been wanting to build a deck with her. I just couldn't figure it out because what she does is when you cast her, you are allowed to go search your library for 5 dragons of any type. Put it into your hand, and then you can cast them.
That's cool.
Dragons are expensive, you know,
Yeah.
super expensive. So I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna put these together. And then they came out in Baldur's Gate. They came out with a dragon called Miriam. She's based on the idea of mirrors.
Okay.
So anytime you put down a dragon, you make a copy of it as a token. So 2 dragons come in for 1.
Ooh.
Um, Almost every dragon has an ETB if they don't have a high attack
What's a
skill.
ETB?
Enters the battlefield. When you play
Okay.
it, something happens. For example, when I play a dragon for Miriam, I make a copy of it. That's an ETB. When a dragon comes in, a copy is made. That's an ETB.
Yeah.
Um, there's another one called Ganax. When he comes in, uh, he creates a treasure token, which is free mana, basically. For he creates a treasure token for himself, and then any other dragon that comes in after him, he'll also create a treasure token, right?
Okay.
Treasure token again is mana, the resource necessary to do this. But so if I get Miram out first, I put Ganax down, so I create 2 Ganaxes, and they both
Ah.
create a treasure token for himself. So I get 2 treasure tokens for the price of 1. And then any dragon after that comes in, it doubles that dragon because of Miram.
Yeah.
So each Ganax will see the first copy of it, so I'll get 2 treasure tokens there. Then the second copy will come in, and I'll get 2 more treasure tokens for any dragon that comes in after Ganax. So from after Ganax is on the field, I every time I play a dragon, I get 4 free mana. This matters because most dragons are 5 mana or more,
Yeah.
right? And you can only
Okay.
put down 1 land in a turn, which is a land gives you mana every turn.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it takes 5 turns before you're even generally supposed to be able to
Summon.
play a dragon.
Yeah.
But I made it in such a way that I play down my first land, which gives me 1 mana to use.
Yeah.
Then I have a card called Soul Ring that comes in for 1 mana, and it gives me 2 mana for tapping. So then I can tap it to pay 2 mana for another card that comes in and gives me 1 more mana. So on my first turn, I have access to 4 mana. Second turn comes around, I'm likely to have another one of those that give me mana, and by my second turn, I should have about 6 mana, so I can play a dragon of 6 mana or higher or lower on
Bonkers.
second turn. Now, the weird part is it gets a little bit more complicated. Like I said, every dragon almost has an ETB or is really good at attacking in some form.
Yeah.
I picked all ETB dragons for my deck. So just like Ganax, I picked a dragon called Scourge. When a dragon comes in, he himself plus a dragon, any other dragon that comes in after him, he deals damage to any target equal to the number of dragons on the field.
Ooh.
So
By this point, you're covered in
I
dragons.
have, yes, I have Tiamat, Miram, 2 Ganaxes, and when Scourge comes in, 2 Scourges. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for each Scourge that comes in. So that's 5 damage, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, like I can just keep playing dragons and just dealing direct damage. And the more dragons I get on the field, the more damage it is.
Yeah.
So I found a dragon that's called Ramos. He's a 6 cost artifact dragon. He's like a machine. He's called the Dragon Engine. When a dragon enters the battlefield, you put a +1/+1 counter on him for every color that it costs to. Anyway, Ramos, when a dragon comes in on the battlefield, depending on how many colors it costs, that's how many +1/+1s it gets. So Tiamat costs 5 different colors, but 7 mana total, but 5 different colors. So he'll get a +1/+1 for the red mana that she costs, the green mana, the blue mana, the white mana, and the black mana. Now his second ability is you can remove 5 +1/+1 counters and add 2 times Wooburg, which is you get to add in a free black mana, red mana, white mana, green mana, and blue mana twice. So you have 10 mana floating the moment you take that 5 off, right?
Yeah.
So the combo that I set up was basically by second turn, I have 6 mana. So I put down Ramos. Third turn, I'm almost guaranteed to have the 7th mana to play Tiamat. So I put Tiamat down. I put 5 tokens on Ramos. I go find dragons, right? I find Miram. And there's another dragon that doubles the number of counters on a creature. The +1/+1 counters.
Yeah.
So I'll go get those. I'll use the first Wooburg to continue being able to cast any of the dragons I got, which would be Miram and the other dragon. So I'll cast Miram. She'll add 3 more +1/+1s because she's 3 different colors. So he'll be a 3/3 again. +3/+3 again. Then I'll cast the other dragon, and when he gets cast, he's doubled. So he comes down as a copy of himself as well. However, I only get what I paid in cost onto Ramos, right? So that's another 5. That's a total of 5 +1/+1s on Ramos, so I can do it again. However, this dragon doubles +1/+1 counters. So when the first one lands, I double it from 5 to 10, and when the copy lands, I double it from 10 to 20. So I can pull off 5, 5, 5, 5, 4 times that same amount of mana. And then I can just keep casting dragons nonstop with ETBs. Enter the battlefield. So I put down that dragon. I put down, following that, I put down Scourge, then Ganax, then some really super cheap ones. I can just keep going, you know? And it damages them directly. And the more dragons I put down, the more damage I can just straight up hit the other players with. And that's all on turn 3.
I'm so excited, Jeremy.
Why?
Because you're excited. Because I don't understand a word you just said for the past 10, 15 minutes.
However, that's with all that said, right?
Yes.
You understand Pokemon enough to know what big creatures are.
Uh-huh.
So dragons are all big creatures and are meant to just swing and hit as hard as possible, as often as possible.
Right.
That's how everybody builds a dragon deck. I have never seen anybody build this deck like this before. Right?
For the numbers?
For the ETB, just multiplying out my dragons to become a swarm of dragons. And then me just winning by ETB. Most people are like, you have dragons, you're gonna swing a lot. I need to get blockers out. I'm like, go for it. I'm never gonna swing. I'm never gonna hit you. I'm just gonna throw fire at you. So that's the fun part of it.